This week we're talking about how Jesus loves those around us. And we talked about before our community. So we're going to talk about how Jesus loves those in our community. Now you guys remember what a community is. A community is the area that you live in, like your neighborhood, right? So we have our community here. And we talked about how there's all different people in our community, right? There's people who live in just regular houses in our community. We have people who work at our grocery store in our community, our school, our bakery. There's a hospital and police and a fire station, right? And there's different community workers that work in our community. But there's also people who just live in the community, like your neighbors, right? So we can have all kinds of people that live in our neighborhood, right? Our friends, right? We can have people with different jobs, like an astronaut. Does anyone have an astronaut in their community? I don't think I do, right? We have different friends we play dress up with, right? That all live in our community. And you know what? Jesus loves all of these people. Whether they're your friend or you don't know them, Jesus loves them just the same, just like he loves you, right? Do you guys like to play princess? Look at that. There's a princess. We'll put her with the knight right there. Right? Oops. All right. So there's all different people in our community. Some people we may know and some people we don't know. And that's okay. But remember, if you don't know someone, you're never supposed to talk to them unless you're with your mommy and daddy. That's just a rule to remember. Today I'm going to read a story about two different communities, two different neighborhoods, right? That they lived close to each other, but they didn't know each other and they were not very nice. So we're going to read about what happens with the Good Samaritan. A little girl named Alice had a neighbor named Miss Brothers, who was always very busy doing what she could for others. Alice liked to visit, for it felt so peaceful there, sitting on the big wide porch in a rocking chair. She took her Bible story while visiting one day and chose to read of Jesus and a man who came his way. "How can I go to heaven?" was the question from the man. Jesus answered with the story of the Good Samaritan. Alice read her story and the airmail bird stopped by. He brought a note to Alice, then flew off in the sky. Reading is the magic key to take you where you want to be. Her book became a magic screen, and the screen grew tall and wide, and Alice walked through the Bible screen to Bible land inside. Alice was sent back in time, and much to her surprise, the story she was reading came to life before her eyes. Between the city of Jerusalem and far-off Jericho, there was a lonely, dangerous road where travelers feared to go. A man was walking down the road, nobody was around, when suddenly a band of thieves crept up without a sound. They moved so very quickly, and there was nothing he could do. The thieves took everything he had, his clothes, and his money too. They hit him with a stick, and they left him out there to die on the desolate, lonely road where few men traveled by. Later on, a priest came by. He spied the poor man there. He saw that he was beaten and had no clothes to wear. But he didn't stop to help the man or see if he was dead. The priest just hurried, and he crossed the road instead. Soon a helper from the temple called a Levite came along, and he saw the injured man and knew that something must be wrong. The Levite didn't slow his pace or see what he could do. He had to get to the temple, so he hurried onward too. Now both the priest and Levite ignored the man in need, even though they were his neighbors. They didn't do a helpful deed. As nighttime came, a stranger trudged down the same road too. He saw the man and instantly he knew what he must do. There's someone injured lying here, a badly beaten man. If he's alive, I will help him in any way I can. The stranger was from Samaria, a fierce and friendly land, yet the Samaritan stopped on the road to offer a helping hand. The Samaritan asked softly if there was something he could do. He put ointment on each wound he saw and snow-white bandages too. He helped him on his donkey and walked beside his injured load until he found a place to stop and an inn beside the road. All through the hours of the night, the Good Samaritan did everything he could to help the injured man. He called to the innkeeper early the next day and said, I can't stay no longer. I must be on my way. Here's a bit of money for the man who is lying there. Use it in any way you can to give the best of care. And if you need more money, send what you must, and then I'll pay you when I return to this inn once again. And the time had come for Alice to leave the Bible scene, so she returned from Bible Land and came back through her screen. She left the neighbor's porch and she put her book away and thought about the lesson she learned in Bible Land today. From the story Jesus told of the Good Samaritan, we must learn to give our very best to anyone we can. To belong to God's own family, I must learn to do for others and be as kind and caring as my neighbor, Mrs. Brothers. If someone's sick or hungry, I should never pass them by. I should treat them like a brother. Jesus' story shows me why. I love God with all my heart and I share the love He's given. Isn't that the richest blessing on earth as well as heaven? The end. So what this story is telling us, because we talked about how Jesus loves everyone around us. He loves our family and our friends. He loves those in our community. And this story is telling us that even if we don't know somebody or if they're our best friends, we should always show kindness. All right, bye.